Used to laugh at ghost stories, the kind you'd hear on long road trips, sitting around a campfire or scrolling late at night through creepy YouTube channels. I didn't believe in them. Not until that night. It was late October, 2 nights before Halloween. I was driving back from my cousin's engagement party out in the country. It was one of those events you can't say no to, even if you don't want to go. I left a little after 1 a.m. My GPS lost signal halfway through the drive, but I knew the way. Or at least, I thought I did. I took a left where I should have gone straight. Then another left. Then nothing looked familiar. That's when the fog rolled in. Thick, blinding, unnatural. It moved fast, like it had a mind of its own. And then I saw her. She was standing on the side of the road, not moving, wearing what looked like an old white dress, dirty, torn around the bottom. Her hair was long, black, hanging over her face. She didn't wave. She didn't step forward. She just stood there. I slowed down, not because I wanted to help, but because I couldn't stop staring. She looked like something out of a movie, out of a nightmare. I should have kept driving. God, I should have kept driving. But I didn't. I rolled the window down just a crack. "Are you okay?" She nodded once, just barely. "I need a ride," she said. That voice, it didn't sound right. It was soft but layered, like two voices at once. One slightly higher, one slightly deeper. My brain said no. Everything inside me screamed no. But my mouth said, "Okay, where to?" She opened the passenger door and got in without hesitation. She smelled like wet earth, like a forest floor after rain. Cold air followed her in. She looked straight ahead. "Just drive," she said. We drove in silence. I kept glancing at her. Her hands were folded in her lap, pale, fingernails dirty. Her head never turned once. I asked her name. She didn't respond. I asked again. Still silence. I started to feel like I wasn't the one driving anymore, like the road itself was making the decisions. And then she spoke. "Don't stop, no matter what you hear." I glanced at her. "What?" "Don't stop," she repeated. "No matter what." And just as she said it, I heard it. It started as scratching from the back seat. But I knew, without turning around, that there was no one back there. Then came the whispering, faint at first, then louder. Voices, plural, chanting something in a language I didn't understand. My hands gripped the wheel. I wanted to turn around. I needed to turn around. But something told me if I did, I wouldn't make it out. I focused on the road. Just keep going. Just keep going. The chanting stopped. Silence. Then, knocking. 3 slow knocks, right behind my head. I slammed my foot on the gas. The road twisted and narrowed. Trees closed in. I didn't remember any of this being here. I felt like I was going in circles. "Almost there," she said, finally looking at me. Her eyes, black, not dark brown, not shadowed, black, completely. I didn't speak. I didn't breathe. She pointed. "There." A crumbling stone bridge came into view, covered in moss. Beyond it, an old house, 2 stories, dark windows, no lights. "I live there," she said. "Number?" No, she didn't. "I think you're mistaken," I said, trying to keep my voice from cracking. She smiled, and then she laughed. It didn't sound human. It echoed inside my skull like someone dropped a metal bucket onto concrete. "Turn off the engine," she whispered. I didn't move. "Turn it off." That's when the back door slammed open, even though I was sure it was locked, and something crawled in. I didn't look. I couldn't. I floored it. The car jerked forward, over the bridge, past the house. The fog thickened until I could barely see the hood. And then, clear road, wide, paved, lined with street lights. I looked over. She was gone. So was the smell, the cold, the scratching. everything. I pulled into a gas station and sat there for almost an hour, shaking, trying to process what had happened. I told myself it was stress, sleep deprivation, a hallucination, until a week later, I was scrolling YouTube, and there it was, a grainy dashcam video uploaded by someone else entirely. The same road, the same woman, same white dress. The video ends when she gets into the car. The comments are filled with one warning: don't pick her up, ever.